Hi everyone, I'm here to share my boho style universe themed junk journals. I was having dinner with Cog about a month ago and I made the comment, I could boho anything. And since then I have started on my endeavor to do that. So here I have started with the entire universe, and I have created 4 journals. The first 2 are Venus and Mars, and the Sun, and the Earth's moon. They're all very similar. They have the same images, the same charms. I did the same stamping. They're just, each journal is assembled in a different order, in a different arrangement. So I thought I would take you, why don't we flip through Venus? And the cover, they're soft covered, and the cover material is a canvas with this fabulous zodiac, and it's got shades of purple in it, which I thought went well with the sari closure. Very animated, the constellations. And this great fabric I found, I appliqued it right onto some canvas and then sewed it to the cover. And the journals are covered in planets, formerly known as buttons. Every time I saw a button during this project, I thought, oh, yeah, that could be a moon, that could be a planet. So there's lots of buttons on the petticoats and drippings, and lots of buttons on the tabs as well. So I guess maybe before I show you Venus, I'll just open up and show you the covers of the other ones. They're really quite similar. Just love the shades in that material. I'm pretty sure I got that at Joann Fabrics, and it's a relatively new fabric, so if you're looking for anything like that, they may still have some in. But this is Mars. And the Earth's moon. Each of them have this little trim here that is actually little beaded sequins. I don't know how well that will show up. And I just draped it over some blue lace there on each of them. And the sun. Okay, so back to Venus. These were panels. They came in panels with all the planets printed on them, and even a few of the asteroids and moons. It was really hard to pick and choose which ones to use for the covers. Going inside, by the way, these are 9 by 6 by a little more than 2 inches on the spine. On the inside cover, I have appliqued and stitched these fabulous constellations. Just love the dark color. It gives it depth. And I've put a doily on as a pocket inside the front cover. The images that I've used throughout are from all different collections of images that I have in my Etsy shop under, I think I called it the Earth and Universe. It's a section of my shop that has all of these. Off the top of my head, I can't always remember where the various images came from, but just love that image. And I've got some great outer space washi tape on tea-dyed index cards. Van Gogh said, "For my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me dream." This comes from a plate in a from a wood engraving from the 1800s, and I've used that on what I call my extra journaling pages. I've put that on the tea-dyed pages, quite a few of them. Just some fancy stitching on sari silk. And then an old image of what they perceived the sun to be. This is some fun floral ribbon I picked up years ago on a discount rack, and I'm having so much fun with it now. And I had to put in my "You Are My Sunshine" stamp. On each of the journals, I have a lace tab that has a little, these are enamel coated charms, little star and Saturn looking planet there. Thought those were really pretty. And an old illustration of how they used to think the solar system was lined up along with the orbits of the days. I guess the days are fairly accurate. And I've got a button on the lace here. Or a planet. The universe is wider than our views of it. And some different space washi there. I printed the universe word cards that I have in my shop out, and I reduced the size of them. I think I printed them on, I think I turned them sideways and actually halved the size of the normal printout. So it's the same words and such. I've just made them smaller. And there's quotes about the universe and the galaxy throughout. Here's a tab made with that same fabric on the inside covers. The Lost and Found stencil from Tim Holt seemed kind of appropriate. We're always finding things in the universe. This is a antique telescope. In each of the journals, I took the entire digi set, which is 3 pages, I think, from the Zodiac, and I printed them really small. So I've got all 12 signs of the Zodiac here, but I've made them literally into little cards, 2 to a page there, 2 to a strip. So I thought those would be fun to stick in there, and did a bit of stitching with word cards and some more in the pockets. Eclipse, extraterrestrial, and the Latin for universe. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. This is an old plate of Atlas holding up the world with all kinds of symbolism in it. I think that plate was from the 1700s. Here's one of the constellations, that's Scorpio. Some sari on an index card there. Another digi-stamped image of the meteor shower there. I usually shy away from doing black and white images, digi-stamps that are heavily black. I try to go with things that are just outlined and sketched, but I thought that was really cool. This is the Orion Nebula. This is visible to the eye on a clear enough night, right in the belt, the sword of Orion that drips out of the 3 stars you can see in the early night sky. I love science stuff. I'm a big space geek. Here's another old plate. I think this one was from the 16 or 1700s. I have it in my files on my computer. Purple planet. Another old star chart. Some burlap dangling down. Some more word cards in there. Planets and meteors and plasma. I love that image of the universe. These are the Flammarion wood engraving plates from the 1800s. Some of them have been colorized and some are black and white. This is some scientific material that I had that I just appliqued, patched, and stitched onto the page. Another tea-dyed index card. Tennyson said, "'Tis not too late to seek a newer world." There's Orion. One of my favorite new stamps. It's huge. It's like this big. So I have to put it on the biggest stamp block I have and try to ink the middle of it and get it onto the card this size. But I tried to pick out the best part of the image there. I just thought that was so cool. Little purple planet there. There is a safety pin with beads on this purple tab. And just some extra tea-dyed pages I had with those antique telescopes. I want to keep saying microscopes, but that was a telescope. I knew that. This is I guess you could call it a doily. I cut this from an antique crocheted table runner. And it was my first big drippy anchor out of the bottom. And I've got a brown planet there. And there's a safety pin with beads on them. You know what I missed? The first signature of each of these journals have got great bead dangles coming out of the middle. I blew right past that. Isn't that fabulous? I just love how those purple colors pick up the little purple highlights throughout the journal. Okay, where was I? So yeah, some beading there. I've just attached that on with a safety pin. And I've got some really pretty sparkly, I guess you would call this flag trim. And I've got some in purple and some in blue, but I've just stitched it right on the bottom of several things. Adding to our quantity of textile drippies at the bottom. This is a moon charm. Love that quote. After one look at this planet, any visitor from outer space would say, "I want to see the manager." William Burroughs. Can't explore space without a little snark. This was the cover of a Life magazine from, I want to say the 1910s, maybe again, I have it on my computer, but I just love the colors, and the blue and the purple just seem to go so well with it. What if the hokey pokey really is what it's all about? We've got some astronomers. I put 2 astronomers in each of these, and one of them is Copernicus and one is Galileo, but I can't tell you which is. I'm pretty sure that was Galileo. Some sari stitched as a tab there. These are purple tassels. And if you kind of flip it, like remember when we used to have long bangs in the 80s? If you kind of just flip it over that way, It'll go right over the page and it'll all fall into place usually. And I've got some more pretty lace down here with a little blue planet on the edge. And a meteor. These are some old star charts, an ancient, like this went way, way back, further than I'm surprised they still have images that they can produce on the public domain so that we can even find these things. Just amazing. Stars are holes in the sky from which the light of the infinite shines. That was Confucius. This tab it's a gold tab, and there's a gold teardrop bead on the safety pin, and then a little blue planet on the bottom, little gemstone. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go. How cool is that washi tape? I got that from a shop in Singapore. I'll link it below the video. Just for my budget, stupid expensive washi, but I splurged and picked out a few, and this is so pretty. I've got the spaceship page from the Outer Space Digi there. Quotes from Thomas Aquinas and Marcus Aurelius. This was a celestial event in the sky from the 1500s. And here's some stamping of the periodic table of elements. That was from Tim Holtz's laboratory ink stamps. There's a tiny little moon and star charm on this pretty trim. I'm pretty sure Suchi sent that to me. Another nebula, the Carina Nebula. And I just did a little patchwork of the moons onto the tea-dyed index card. My tummy is rumbling. I hope you guys can't hear my tummy growling. I wanted to have an orange with breakfast, and I can, if you've ever tried to make a video after peeling an orange, it doesn't matter what a good scrub brush you've used on your hands, it will still come out orange on the video. So I waited until after I made the video to eat, which is why my tummy's rumbling. Many a trip continues long after movement in space and time have ceased. It's Steinbeck. Another stamp from Tim Holtz's laboratory. Thought that was appropriate. And that says heliosphere. Another little blue planet there. Each of the journals have the dates for the full moon. Now, my list started in 2018, but it's formatted for several size journals, and I wanted to be able to include that in here. So obviously we'll start down here, and there's a full moon tomorrow. Yes, February. Okay, there's a full moon today. No, that's Sunday. It's the 10th. At any rate, they're in order. So this is the first page of the full moon. And the second page of the dates continue. And the third page goes through the year 2037. Some quotes by Tesla and Einstein. And then we've got page 4, 5, and 6 to end the list of the full moon dates. And this goes through November of, I don't have my reading glasses on, 2056. So shouldn't be any problem locating the dates for a good long time. Andromeda's here with some more of that drippy flag trim. And that's the colorized version of the Flammarion wood engraving. And a comet here. Gemini is tucked in there. I've ruffled some sari down the side, and it's the same color as the ties. Some stamping, some fancy stitching. I love the way the light thread shows up on dark images. That was really neat. Here is a double-sided charm. It's the same on both sides. It has a star in the middle and it says "Make a Wish." The moon. It's another great depiction of how they used to think the earth went around the sun. Taurus is stitched in here. Elements, atoms, and orbits. And this is some purple. It's darker than cranberry, but it's dustier than purple. I call it purple, but really nice burlap. And if you like the look of the burlap hanging off the bottom of the pages for your boho stuff, you might try looking in the floral sections. I know Joann Fabrics always has it. I'm sure quite a few of the home stores and Hobby Lobby and others have the rolls of colored burlap there if you're interested in looking for that without buying a huge quantity. A little planet there. Actually, it looked more like a moon to me. There's some more of that fabulous floral ribbon that I made into tabs. Quote by Shakespeare. There's that Flammarion illustration printed right onto the page before I tea-dyed. Got a long drippy crystal here. This is some different space fabric, and there's actually some really cool iridescent glass beads on here, depending on where the light catches them. And there's a little charm with a star and a little plasma trail in back of it, like a shooting star maybe. This is Louis the Sun King as depicted back when he was alive, only they did it with the icons of the sun to depict him as the Sun King. I always thought that went really well with that fabric. And here is, it says, "May the force be with you," and there's a little Yoda on it. I love those charms. I withheld from making any kind of movie or geeky sci-fi references because I don't know that everyone that would be into these would be into, you know, the movies and shows about them, but I had to slip in a little Yoda. Here's another depiction of the way the stars, the procession was perceived. It says galaxies, and there's some purple sparkly flag trim. Nice purple planet there. Some more textile stitching onto index cards. Equipped with his 5 senses, man explores the universe around him and calls the adventure science. That was a quote by Hubble. So the back cover of the journals has, this was also cut from an old, very wide table runner, and kind of in a quadrant pineapple shape. I thought that that was so cool. And there is another of those blue enamel charms. This one is of the moon with little stars in it. And some more pretty space-looking beads. And a big moon or planet down there. So that is Venus. And you know, every journal set I do ties differently. And I find if you have thinner strips of sari, less wide, thinner this way, and they're not fluffy, that if you tie it in a bow and keep the loops small rather than the big fluffy thing, that it actually works a little better. So that is Venus. But wait, there's more. There is more. These are the clothespins that I made to send with each journal that I send out. And I've covered them with some of that really cool universe floral ribbon and put them on the clothespins. So there's that. And I have some individual pages that I'm going to put in each of these journals, and I didn't put them in the journals because I wanted to show them. These are pages that I've gotten out of various books that have looked at things about exploring space or the universe that in some way I thought was relevant to these journals. Some of them were about early exploration, like when they went up in hot air balloons to see how far up they could go and crazy stuff like that. Great lightning plasma discharge with a capsule coming back to Earth there. And you gotta think that's Mars. Great colors. Yeah. It definitely looks like Mars. I don't know what's right side up because they're in space. Is there a right side up? That was definitely taken from out there rather than down here. And here's another one of the satellite in space. Well, that is definitely a robot on either the moon or Mars. I'm going to guess that that is the moon, but I'll have to go look up my rovers to confirm that. Okay. Obviously, he's spacewalking. Oh, this is really cool. These are people in very 1960s cars watching a liftoff from Cape, or looking onto Cape Canaveral. It was really cool. This, it was a 2-pager. Look at these guys on that. And there was a really cool caption here about it. There was actually a story about when this was, and if I haven't mentioned, I don't have my reading glasses on. But it was another attempt to explore upwards the great beyond. And these guys are definitely looking at some high-end excitement here. This may have been one of the test capsules that came back. I should have put a sticky with the information from each of these pictures just so I could do this video, but I didn't think of it at the time. And they came out of a bunch of different books. And of course, this is a great picture of a celestial event. Came out of one of those Time magazine compilations, but what a great image. So I am going to put those, a couple of those in each of the journals. I have these little shooting star colored paper clips, and then for one of them, I will put it in with a paper clip with this charm in each of them, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So that is the walk through these. I appreciate you popping in to look at these with me today. And I will be back soon with my next project. I hope everyone's doing well and have a great day. Bye-bye.